Your price is too high. Will you take less? Or what's your bottom dollar on that project? I know you've all heard of it if you've been selling woodworking very long at all. Or maybe even you think, what if I'm charging too much? It's a common response from customers who don't value your work, your time, and your skill level. If you're building woodworking projects to sell, then you have a certain amount of skill that's worth something. I've got two responses to give to customers who are always asking for the discount or who are always telling you your prices are too high in one way or another. And we'll talk about those in a few minutes. If you like this type of content, hit that thumbs up. Share this with your friends if you think they'll find value out of this. And also do not forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button and the bell icon next to it. You get notified of all the new content we've got coming. Today I want to talk to you about taking less versus charging what you're worth. If you take less from that customer who the first thing they ask for is a discount, or the first thing they message you is, will you take less? Or I've even had messages that say, you're charging too much for that. They expect it every single time that you're going to give them a break. Your skill, your time is worth something. If you're taking money off the top, you're creating a bad customer. You're creating it. You don't have to work with everyone that asks for the discount. So you're creating bad customers when you give them a discount immediately. And when you create that bad customer, what do you think is going to happen when you start working with them more in the future when they want to come back and buy something else from you? They're going to ask for another discount, but they're going to be the type that's always wanting to add more to the project. I wanted that 5-foot dining table, but now I want it to be 6 foot. I need you to go back and change that. I can't, it's too late. No, but I want that. So you get into this thing where you've broken a boundary with your customer, and now they expect discounts. They expect more than they're paying for. Taking a lesser price than what you've already established is your price. That is devaluing your time, your work, and your skill level. If you drop your price to get that sale, it means that you don't value your own work and your own skill level. So if you're doing that, you probably lack confidence in your pricing and your work. If that's the case, you're probably new, and that's okay. Don't feel bad about that. We've got a pricing video I'll put in the link in the description below that may help you price your projects appropriately. You have to realize that you have to stand firm sometimes on your price. Everybody wants a deal. Everybody wants a sale. I want to get the best deal when I buy computers or electronics to help build the channel. I want a deal when I'm buying tools. I've even got a tool deals video. Everybody wants that deal. And there's nothing wrong with you running a sale or giving discounts from time to time on certain things, but it needs to be up to you and not up to the customer. Because ultimately, there's people out there that will take advantage of you if you allow them to. If you're constantly giving that 1 or 2 customers the discount, they'll take advantage of you. Don't let them do that. You're worth more than that. Now, what are you worth? What's your project worth? What's your skill level worth? When you charge what you're worth, you build better customers. Those customers who buy from you know that they're buying premium products if you're charging a premium price, and they will return to get that premium product. People will actually even save up their money to buy from you. If you're the woodworker in the area that builds the awesome stuff, that builds the premium stuff, people will seek you out. People will save their money, and they will want to work with you because you have established that you're a premium product. You become the desirable builder in your area. And that's what you want. When you're charged what you're worth, your business becomes more profitable. Having a profitable business means that you're not always scraping and scrounging for money. When you have a project that is $150 and you take $100 for it from the customer who asked for that discount, then what happens is you're always trying to play catch up from there, because now you're $50 behind. So if you had $50 invested in the project, you expected to make $100 profit. Now you've made $50 project profit and you're behind $50. So now the next time when you post that project, you need to make that $150. John told Joe that he got it for $100. Well, now Joe wants it for $100 too. So it creates a snowball effect, and you're always trying to play catch up from there. The problem is when you're broke, and I've been there, been broke as a joke. Y'all know this if you've watched this channel at all. That I started out and made that I took $100 and invested in materials to build a project with borrowed tools. So I know what it's like to be broke. And when you're broke and you're desperate for money, you make bad decisions. I've been there. I know what it's like to want to get the sale and be so desperate to get that money because you need it. You need the money. I understand that. When you do that, you may be making a bad decision that's going to hurt you long term. You got to think about this as a marathon and not a sprint. And when you charge what you're worth, you become more profitable. When you're more profitable, you make more per sale. That means you're not as willing to bend to the will of the customer every time they ask for the discount. You wind up having a safety net. You're not begging for sales. You're not trying to scrape and scrounge to make every single sale, even if it means sacrificing on your price. More importantly, when a customer believes, when they believe in your brand and they believe that they bought a premium product that you're going to stand behind, they're going to keep coming back for more. It's just going to snowball in a better direction. It's not going to be a downhill slope that you're falling down trying to play catch up all the time. You're actually going to start building loyal customers who come back for more. A happy customer is a committed customer. They're just going to keep coming back. I've had several return customers who just continue to come back, continue to want more and more projects from me, and I love that. That speaks volumes when you have return customers. So how do you respond when they say, your price is too high, or will you take less? That's what you're here for. You want to know how to respond to them professionally. Ask them to compare it. When you say my price is too high, or will I take less, what are you comparing that to? Where are you getting that pricing information from? See if they have a legitimate answer, because most of the time they won't. It makes that customer ask themselves, what am I actually comparing the price to? Why am I asking for $50 off of this project? Where did I see? Do I know where that price should be? Is that a fair price? Most of the time in our line of work, if you're building furniture, they'll say, well, I can buy that at Walmart or IKEA. And yeah, I'll tell them, you're going to wind up getting what you pay for. It's going to be particle board. It's not going to last. It's going to be flimsy. If they still want a lower price after you ask them to compare it, just be honest and be forthcoming with it and just say, I don't want to take your money if you don't think my product is worth it for this price. I understand you're seeking a lower price, but my product's time and my skill level are worth more than that. Tell them I appreciate the offer, but I don't think it's going to be beneficial for either of us to work at that price point. Then you'll just leave it there. That's it. You don't have to say anything else. At that point, the customer will either decide, yes, that product is worth what that craftsman or that woodworker is asking for at that price, or they won't. And if they don't, you didn't want to work with them anyway. You have to think of woodworking as a marathon versus a sprint. Do you want to be that woodworker that's in business for 3 months, or do you want to be that woodworker that's in business for years and years to come? So sacrificing your price, you're going to create a sprinting client. That client's going to be there for this amount of time. If you stick to your price and you know what you're worth and you know that what you're charging is fair and honest and is a good price for both the client and you to make a profit, if you're in business to make woodworking profits, then that's going to create a marathon customer who's going to return for more. They are. If they value your work and they value your time and they value your skill level and your product, they're going to come back for more. The customers that are in it just to get the best discount, the best deal possible, they're not in it for the long haul. They're going to come and get the deal and they're going to be gone. They're the ones that's always chasing the bottom dollar, always wanting to cut corners. You don't want to work with those type people very much at all. If you don't think your product is good enough to sell, then it should just be free. I mean, if you don't value your time, your skill, and your products, then just give it away or donate it. You don't have to sell them, but if you're trying to sell projects, you have to value your time and your skill, as well as the material costs and everything that goes into building a project. When you're building woodworking projects, you need to start thinking about how it's going to benefit the customer as you build it. If you're building an end table, are they going to use this end table for years to come to sit their remotes and their magazines and their coffee cups on it? They're going to value that piece of furniture for a very long time. Same thing if you're building cutting boards. They're going to be preparing their family's dinner on that cutting board, a dining table. They're going to be sitting around that dining table making thousands of memories for years to come. So you're creating more than just a piece of furniture. You're creating memories for these people, even if they don't realize that's what's going on. Hey, if you found this video valuable, click that video right there. It takes you to the next set of videos. If you click that video, you get the big old virtual fist bump. Been trying out the new studio. Drop a comment below and let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your support.